Dynasty Radio, 1382.
I am not speaking from a patriarchal mindset at all, because polygamy is about the woman, not the man. It's not about the man. It's about village building. Monogamy teaches us individuality, separatism, my four and no more. And that is not our original nature. We were, according to my research, we were a village people, and we still should be a village people. We did everything together as a village. We didn't believe in separatism. We didn't believe in individuality, although you are individual yourself. But I'm talking about as a whole. We didn't. That wasn't of us. That's their mindset. So the reason why so many people even having a problem with even thinking about it is because we have been taught to be separate and individuals. Hey, all right, peace and love, my family. This is your girl, T. ASK-ZURI, affectionately known as Empress T. Well, here we are. We are here on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, for our new kickoff show, Polygyny. Not polygamy, polygyny, a matriarchal system. And I bet you probably say, how do you put matriarchal and polygyny in the same sentence? Well, I'm going to tell you how I do that, and so just continue to tune in with us. We are going to be here every week at the same day and the same time, and we're going to really dig deep into this thing that we know as polygamy. Now, this is a live call-in show, so if you want to call in and chat with me, you can do so by reaching me at 646-716-7572. By the way, did I tell you that this is Dynasty Radio, Network Radio, Global Radio? Dynasty Network Global Radio 1382, and we are here 7 days a week, 3 times a day, so make sure you tune in with us if you want to hear revolutionary radio for revolutionary people. Now, if you want to get our show times and lineups, you can do so by visiting us on the web at www.dynastynetwork.net. Again, that's dynastynetwork.net. You can also reach us on our Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Dynasty Network. We also have a Facebook page for polygamy. So if you go to Black Polygyny, it's called The Black Polygyny, okay? So that's how you can reach us on Facebook. We have a little support group there. Not really support, but you can kind of go in there and meet people and support each other and whatever. It's real small, but that's cool. We like it like that. So that way you can get to know everybody in that group. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into what this show is about, because I know many of you are tuning in because, some of you are probably tuning in because you are thinking about practicing polygamy. And I use that word only to clarify what I'm talking about, because I don't really want to call it a practice, because we don't call being monogamous a practice. So I don't like to call being a polygamist a practice, but for the sake of conversation and clarity, we'll just say a practice. And so some of you are tuning in because you want to maybe practice this lifestyle, and then there's some of you who are tuning in because you just want to, or you're already in it, and you want to know how you can maybe bring in more wives, or maybe you can better what you're already doing. Maybe you need some help with clearing some things out. I don't know. Some of you are just here because you nosy as hell, but that's okay. For whatever reason that you decided to show up today on this show, I say welcome to you all. I take the nosy people too. Welcome, because this show is not to force anybody into doing anything. This show is strictly to help you or to bring clarity. I know you see me all over Facebook talking about polygamy and more than one wife and all this other stuff, and so this show is really to bring clarity. Now, this is an open show, which means that you can call in. We're going to have many different types of guests coming on who are going to talk about their experience as for polygamy and, whether it be negative or positive, because one thing I do not want this show to be is a positive show all the time for polygamy. I want to know the good and the bad, the ins and the outs of this lifestyle, because if a person comes on my show and act like there's nothing negative going on in the family, I don't want to hear that. I know there is, because that's how we're wired. We always have our little issues and problems and stuff, and so we want to tell people that they are there, and this is how you work through them in a plural marriage. So that's what this show is about. Now, let me tell you, and I know that you all should know, but let me just tell you my own little words with polygamy, Polygamy, means multiple mates, multiple husbands, wives. It's an umbrella. It's really an umbrella, because under that umbrella you have polygyny, you have polyandry, you have, there's a whole lot of polys going on, because poly means multiple. So there's an umbrella. So under polygamy is the term that we're going to deal with, and that's polygyny, Polygyny. And polygyny means that the man has more than one wife. And, of course, polyandry means that the woman has more than one husband. Okay? Now, if you decide you want to do polyandry, hey, more power to you. That's not my flavor, but you are more than welcome to do polyandry. And, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get too much into my business right off the top. But anyway, I prefer polygyny. That's what I prefer. So, you may prefer something different. And so this show really deals with the man and having many wives. And what I want to do is I want to bring clarity, because I know I've run into so many people on Facebook, and even talking to them like on the street, there's a lot of men who are catching on with this, and they want to practice this. They want to get into this lifestyle. But my concern, my fear, my issue is that they are jumping into something that they have no knowledge of, should I say consciously, because most of our brothers are practicing polygyny anyway, subconsciously. But consciously, they don't know what they're getting into. And so I hope they would tune in to maybe hear from a woman, hear from women who call in, and to say that this is nothing to play with. Don't play with our hearts. Don't play with our bodies. Don't play with our minds with this. This is not what this is about. We want to let you know in our mind, our eyesight, that polygyny is not about the sex. So that's one thing we want, even though you're going to get plenty of it. Matter of fact, you're going to get so much, your ass going to be wore out and tired. You may not want no more for a while. But polygyny is not about the sex. Should I say it shouldn't be about the sex? So if you're trying to get into polygyny for sex, let me help you out right now and tell you don't even think about it, because you don't even have to get married to have sex. You could have it anyway without breaking a woman's heart, without coming into a family and messing up. If you just doing it for the sex, I say, if you're in it, get out of it. And if you're not in it and you want to get in it, don't even bother. And that goes the same for the woman. If you just want to get a husband because you need plenty of phallus, you don't have to get married to get plenty of phallus. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. But anyway, I was reading up on the definition, the lawful definition, or should I say how the law classifies, or the term, what am I trying to say? What the law's definition of polygamy is. There you go. And it is the offense of willfully and knowingly having more than one wife or husband at the same time. The offense of willfully and knowingly entering into a second marriage while validating married. I'm sorry. What is words? I can't even read my own handwriting. Okay, I can't read what it says, but it says married to another individual is bigamy. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm sorry, y'all. Well, the reason why I want to read that to you about what the law says, because, first of all, you know, you got people listening who ain't got no sense at all, and the first thing they want to holler is, you know, practicing polygamy is illegal. Actually, from my research, it's legal in about 50 countries. Of course, America ain't one of them. But I tell you, if you hang on long enough, they tried to get polygamy passed here in America. I don't know if y'all knew that, but they're trying to get polygamy passed here legally from my understanding of what I have been researching. And guess what they're trying to jump on the bandwagon of homosexuality. So while the homosexuals are in there trying to fight for their rights and trying to fight for the right to marry and to, you know, collect Social Security and all these different things that a heterosexual couple get, the polygamists are now trying to jump on that bandwagon too. So my thing is, I don't give a damn how you get it. You got to jump on their bandwagon here. They jumped on our bandwagon when we were talking about civil rights. So we'll jump on their bandwagon to get polygamy passed. But I wanted to put that out there because I need you to know, because you know you have some people who ain't too bright upstairs, and they would try to go and maybe marry 2 or 3 women here in America on paper. And let me tell you, if you do that, your ass is going to jail. I'm just saying. So you don't want to do that. It is illegal right now in America. And so until it becomes legal, there's other ways that you can actually be married and still not be left out in the cold, so to speak, when it comes to marriage. So as the shows go on and progress, we're actually going to talk about that. We're actually going to talk about how you, as a woman, should secure yourself in the marriage. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because when you are a single woman and you find a husband or a husband find you, don't you want security within that marriage? I mean, it shouldn't be any difference when you're in a polygamous relationship. Just because you're sharing a husband, if I can use that word, does not mean that you should not be secured in any kind of way. And there are ways that you can go about making sure that you are secured in the relationship, even though you are not putting paperwork down saying that I am married to him by the court of law. So we are going to talk about that. As a matter of fact, that's one of our items on the list that I have here, which is I titled this list the many fears that women have for this practice for polygamy. You know, and I've been listening to the sisters that they've been, you know, some been coming to me on Facebook saying, I don't understand why you think we should do this. Then you got some that just straight out cuss me out and say, you know, you a desperate bleep, 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 and you can't get your own man, all these other things. And then some of them say, you know, maybe you insecure, or, you know, maybe you too ugly to get a man, and that's why I got 12,000 pictures on Facebook to show you I don't think I'm ugly at all. So that ain't the problem. Security showing up ain't insecurity is definitely not the problem. I am very secure in who I am, and I have a lot going on. I mean, I'm a good catch. So that's not the problem either. So I really wanted to let you know that has nothing to do with being insecure, has nothing to do with being too ugly to get a man, has nothing to do with you trying to latch on to somebody else's man. One thing that we have to realize and understand, and I learned this from Dr. Umar actually when he said last time he was on one of my shows about polygamy, he said we do not own each other. There is no ownership with people. We are not animals. We are not cars or houses, you know, with, you know, a lot of us don't own them either because until you pay 30 years, you don't own nothing. But anyway, we don't own each other. And because we don't own each other, then there are more ways that we can do this thing. It's more open than you think it is. And even though we think we own each other, when we get that piece of paper and that ring, I can guarantee you if you do the polls or you ask anybody who has been married before, you'll find out real quickly that, yeah, we was married, and, yeah, I thought I owned him, but I found out he had a family across town,